folks, this is a quick BIOS overview. We've got the MSI Z690 carbon Wi-Fi motherboard, and this is one of the earlier BIOSes. I might do this again later when I actually update the BIOS. Now, what you can see in here right now, folks, is the motherboard, CPU. We've got an i9-12900KF in here. The BIOS that's in here will not currently support 13th gen, right? So you got to update the BIOS. I'll eventually do a couple videos on that. There may be some on the internet, but most likely mine will be better. And as I said, well, here you can see the BIOS version and the date. So CPU core temp 24 degrees. Why is that? Well, we've got a knock to an NH-U14S Plus, we'll call it. It's basically got dual 140 millimeter fans on it, so it's keeping it pretty cool. You can see the core voltage there, motherboard temp. Now, if I had, and the next time I do this video, overclockable DDR5 RAM in here, we'd be able to adjust the XMP profile. Over here you can see game boost. So what we're in right now is kind of their easy mode. Pretty much everybody seems to have one. Now over here, folks, you can see the CPU base clock speed ratio, P core number, and your efficiency core number. So this is 16 cores and all this other good stuff. Of course, unlike some of the motherboards, you can see right away whether turbo boost is on or disabled, as well as hyper-threading. You can see the CPU frequency. Let's go ahead and click on memory. So here you can see we've got one stick of RAM in here, and this shows you the different profiles. Now, I'm pretty sure the RAM that I have in here I thought was only good up to 4800. I could be wrong. I'll need to go back and double check that. We shall see, folks. And it even says Samsung, which is interesting. Storage, you can see we have no drives, but you would see M.2s and SATAs in here if they were there. Fan info. Alright, so you can see that. CPU fan. There are no system fans currently in there. Now, if we wanted to update the BIOS, one of the places we might go is M-Flash. Favorites. I'll spare you guys from the M-Flash because I'll do that when I do the BIOS update video. And hardware monitor. So here you can go in and mess around with your fan curve. So this, you know, is one of the better BIOSes, and this is a earlier version. Now, if you wanted to take a screenshot, which is always a good idea, if you change stuff, you might want to go back, or excuse me, you might want to screenshot your defaults. If you change something and screw something up, then, you know, hopefully you'll remember how to get back to it, right? Now, the other thing, when you do a BIOS update, XMP will get reset, and possibly your boot drive order might get changed. So not a bad idea to screenshot those. All right, let's go over to advanced. And so this motherboard does have, you know, all the pretty colors on it. Looks like built-in RGB stuff, and you can probably adjust that in the motherboard. Usually I use software on my computer. Alright, so, you know, basically we're seeing a lot of the same stuff, right? Boot priority, I might not have called this out. If we had some drives in here, we'd be able to move those around and decide which one it's going to boot to first. Let's click on settings first. And I am not going to say everything on here. We're going to just kind of open it up. Alright, so you can see what's on the menus in case you care. I'm assuming you do if you wanted to see this video. Click on Advanced. So there are a lot of submenus. We are going to try and fly through these. Thunderbolt, USB configuration, USB port control. See, they're all enabled by default. Power management setup. That's what you know, a lot of times, yeah, this is one of those places where sometimes when you're having issues with your boot drive, this may be the culprit, or maybe 50 other things. Wake up event, secure race. We're not going to open that up, and we're not going to go into self-test. All right. Boot, boot priority. This is like a graphical version, and then just text over here, right? Security, trusted computing. Of course, this is support Windows 10 and 11. Secure boot. All right, overclock. So we do have a CPU in here that we could overclock if we wanted to. I'm not going to do that in this video. Here's CPU configuration. Now this is the place you would go if you wanted to disable turbo boost, right? Easy enough to do. There's also software throttle stop that I use, which is even easier. Let's go into advanced RAM configuration. So all the timing stuff in here. This menu takes forever to scroll through. Come on, let's get to the end. Hopefully my camera won't stop recording. All right, we'll skip that one. CPU specification. Memory Z. CPU features. Alright, so that does it for that menu. Then M-Flash, like I said, we'll do in a different one. OC profile, hardware monitor, you already saw this. Right. And that's going to do it, folks, for this BIOS overview. Hope you got something out of it. Next video, we'll make sure we put some RAM that's overclockable. And let's see, we'll also look at it after we do the latest BIOS update. So there'll be a link down below eventually for the latest version of this. Now this is probably my best motherboard. It's between this and one of my Aorus ones. Got a lot of similar features. This one does have two PCIe 5.0s, one of which is damaged. But otherwise, it is a really cool motherboard. So, hey, thanks for checking out the video. Please like, please subscribe.